Welcome to another episode of Await and Arise Meditation. Join me as we dive into scripture and just pause in awe of our good God, and as we give our souls just a moment of rest and refresh. This week, my daughter and I are on a little vacation. We hopped in the car and headed to Colorado Springs. For us, this is a 6 or so hour drive through mostly quiet Wyoming and then bustling and growing Colorado. On our second day here, we went hiking. It was beautiful, exhilarating, and awe-inspiring. However, the drive to the hike and around the area to get supplies and food, less awe and more pressure and stress. The pace at which everyone travels is probably 30 to 40 miles per hour faster than we do at home. Now, I'm a proud proclaimer of being from the city, KC to be exact. I wear my ability to drive in traffic with a badge. I talk about the boredom that so easily impacts when driving in Wyoming. But here, this week, I found myself longing for home, longing for that slower pace. And I noticed something else. The shopping and eating options for us Wyoming girls, this was fun, especially my 16-year-old. But it got me thinking, much like the pressure of driving in the rat race that is traffic in the city, the pressure of keeping up, having the newest and greatest, and the temptation to be in debt for that, it has to be enormous where the options are endless. I'm sure at some point it all starts to blend in and you just live life, but what about the pressure to look a certain way or act a certain way, be part of a certain society or culture? That never goes away. And our ability today to access what we need to fit in, well, that pressure is intense, even in little old Wyoming, much like the pressure of driving in this traffic. But, Jesus tells us in Matthew 6:19, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin don't break in and steal. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. The intensity to live in society, to keep up, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away no matter where you live or the older you get. It just changes. Jesus knew no matter what society, no matter what generation, that the pressure to keep up would be prevalent unless you removed yourself from that pressure and trusted Jesus, His provision and His way. The passage goes on to say, you cannot serve two masters. You will love one and hate the other, or you'll be committed to one and despise the other. So do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body and what you will wear. Is not your life more than food and your body more than clothes? Well, maybe not to a 16-year-old. But truly, if God feeds the birds of the air, are you not much more valuable than they? So what will He do for you? Instead of keeping up with the Joneses, and now they're not just our neighbor down the road, but they're Betty Sue 3 states over with her perfect hair and her perfect clothes and her perfect kids on social media telling you if you do it her way, your life will look just as charming. Truth is, if you join her, your idol is consumerism. Your love is money. Your hope is in the wrong place. And soon you'll be worn out and broke and resentful that you bought the lie and wondering, how do I escape this rat race? Jesus, that's how. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. The practical end to this is focus. Where are my eyes? Because where my eyes look, that's where I will go. If I want to look like the world, then all I have to do is look at those in the world, and there I will be. But if I truly want to look like Jesus, if I'm tired of the rat race, I'm tired of buying the lie that all I have to do is A, B, C, and I'll look like you, then my eyes must look to Jesus, and there my heart will be also. He wants to give us rest, soul rest. Isn't it time, friend? Doesn't your soul crave more than this world can offer? Don't you want to strive less and feel loved more? Turn your eyes to Jesus and trade the world's pressure for His rest. Be blessed because you are loved. Now, let's posture our hearts to the only one who can give us rest and dive in to another soak in scripture. Matthew 6:19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Luke 12:33 through 34. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. Provide purses for yourselves that will not wear out, a treasure in heaven that will never fail, where no thief comes near or no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. 1 Timothy 6:17 through 19. Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. Command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and to be generous and willing to share. In this way, they will lay up treasure for themselves as a firm foundation for the coming age, so that they may take hold of the life that is truly life. Revelation 22:12. Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done. Then Jesus said to his host, when you give a luncheon or dinner, do not invite your friends, or your brothers, or your sisters, your relatives, or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you will be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Genesis 2:2-3. And on the seventh day, God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. Exodus 16:23. He said to them, this is what the Lord has commanded. Tomorrow is a day of solemn rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake and boil what you will boil, and all that is left over lay aside to be kept till the morning. So the people rested on the seventh day. Exodus 20, verse 11. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Exodus 23:12. 6 days you shall do your work, but on the seventh day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and the son of your servant woman and the alien may be refreshed. Exodus 33:14. And he said, my presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. 1 Kings 8:56. Blessed be the Lord who has given rest to his people Israel, according to all that he promised. Not one word has failed of all his good promise, which he spoke by Moses his servant. Psalm 116:7. Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you. Proverbs 19:23. The fear of the Lord leads to life, and whoever has it rests satisfied. He will not be visited by harm. Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Hebrews 3:18-19, 4:1-4. And to whom did he swear that they would not enter his rest, but to those who were disobedient? So we see that they were unable to enter because of unbelief. Therefore, while the promise of entering his rest still stands, let us fear lest any of you shall seem to have failed to reach it. For good news came to us just as to them, but the message they heard did not benefit them, because they were not united by faith with those who listened. For we who have believed enter that rest, as he has said, as I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest, although his works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he has somewhere spoken of the seventh day in this way, and God rested on the seventh day from all his works. Revelation 14:13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying, write this, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Blessed indeed, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, for their deeds follow them. Now await in his presence and arise to his call. Be blessed. You are loved. Thanks for joining me today. If your soul was refreshed by this pause in the Word, then I hope that you'll continue to join me weekly for these Await and Arise meditations. My hope is that this podcast space will be a reprieve for you to just take a pause away from the world, to be refreshed in the Word, and to await in the presence of a good God. Would you go to the comment section and leave a word or a scripture that's lifted you up this week? I really do love to see how God is working in all of our lives, and my desire is to see that this space just grows as a community of people who come together and encourage each other in the Word. I want to see him working in all of us. It's just such a sweet reminder that we are all in this together, and God, he goes before us. So until next time, I'm praying your heart stays anchored in his truth. Await and Arise podcasts are available on all podcast players. If you would like to see Ange, me, as I teach weekly live, click on my YouTube channel or go to my webpage, angelaraber.com, and you can find those episodes there. Meditations come out each week on Thursday, and live teachings are weekly on Monday, and I post those on Tuesday. We hope that you'll subscribe and feel free to share this episode with family and friends and on social media. For more information for connecting with a community Bible study in your area, you can also click those links below. You can join a Connect group online, or you can find a community Bible study in your town or in your area that you can join in person. It is so important to be in the Word, meditating on it, and studying it for yourself. So it is my encouragement to you to find a Bible teaching church and an in-depth Bible study and dig in. Thanks for listening. Now, await in His presence and arise to His call.